John Kraft, second-class radioman. When it comes to the submarine, I think I was asleep on our first dive. And in Iraq, I was tired. I got in late to report to duty coming back from leave. I had trouble. They assigned me to the sound-powered phones, and I remember Ron Gex back in maneuvering room with all the noise back in the maneuvering room. I couldn't understand a thing. And finally he said, get the hell somebody up there that knows what they're doing, when we were on maneuvering watch running down the Thames River. Other than that, our operations consisted, because we were an old boat at that time, in 68, 69, our operations were all geared towards anti-submarine warfare, helping the planes and the other surface ships find us in games. We were being decommissioned like crazy. Our boats were being decommissioned. They were piling up north of the sub-base on the Thames River. The fast attacks were being built. The nuclear fleet was coming in, and they were obviously far superior. A submarine, I don't think it's anything, it's common knowledge. Our old boats were surface ships that went down occasionally. And on batteries, the most you could stay down would be 24 hours. And then you had to resurface and get air, or at least snorkel. The nuclear boats were entirely different. I was transferred just before I had a year left in the Navy. I was transferred to the USS Pollack, 603, caught it out of Fort Lauderdale, and I couldn't believe the speeds and the depths that thing, and that was an early version of a fast attack. It was so far superior to the Bang, but I was, in the Navy's infinite wisdom, they replaced me on the Bang with a seaman who had qualified on the sister ship of the Pollack, the Haddo 603, and so he and I arranged a swap. And so for my last year in the Navy, I got to spend it on the good old Bang, the Bangfish. I overwent a yard overhaul that taught me about a lot of leadership. I loved radio. You talked to the world. You had control of what the rest of the sailors listened to. And so they were at my mercy as far as what went on in the after battery, as far as what you listened to. I remember listening to Janis Joplin's album, anyway, Bit of My Heart was her big album. We heard that during the Mediterranean cruise forever, and it was one of those things where you'd want to take it. If you remember a MASH episode where Sentimental Journey was played by the Colonel, and finally even he thought it was enough. I remember as a radioman enjoying the night shift. We were port and starboard a lot because of the shortage of radiomen. Port and starboard means you're 12 on, 12 off, but at night I loved it because there was a radio station out of Rochester, New York, WHAM, by Harry Abrams, played jazz, and I loved jazz. And I remember one song he played extensively, Oklahoma Toad, and Roberta Flack, First Take album was on at that time. And so there was but besides that, the leadership that I learned, the ability to fly straight, I credit the Navy to, and a lot of the sub and so forth.